Okay, what's going on, boys? NealGuides here. Welcome back to another video. Now, in today's video, we're going to go over the 4-3-2-1 tactics that was used by the pro player Rodrigo that ended up beating Tex in the qualifiers. A very interesting formation. We have made some changes. I'm going to walk you through those changes right now. Going straight into it, I want to show you live on how this works. So basically, the way that Rodrigo did it was a bit different. The way I've devised it, and this is what I've been working on it, I've worked on a system where essentially it defends in a 4-4-2, and how that basically happens is that the formation starts as a 4-3-2-1, and then when you have the ball in your possession, it ends up playing like a 4-3-2-1. By default, you have one of the centre mids that joins into the attack. In fact, both of these centre mids can join the attack, and you end up having one guy sitting back almost like a CDM and two guys going forward. But when you defend, what happens is that the left centre mid, he ends up becoming a left mid, and then you end up having a centre mid. Your right centre mid gets pushed in, and then your right forward becomes a right mid, and it ends up becoming a 4-4-2. So you can see the position actually itself. You can see the right forward goes to right mid. So that is how you're playing out of possession. So let's say, for example, your opponent's got the ball, you're defending in a 4-4-2. You have two banks of four and then two strikers up front. Brilliant for pressing, but when you go forward, you then convert into the 4-3-2-1. So do you see how the formation works? So that is how it works. I'm going to explain to you the tactics and everything now. So let's go back in to the tactics. So just bearing in mind some of these things I've changed. So I'll explain to you these right now. Defensive style, it's very important. You don't use drop back. I've tested this on both post generation or new gen and old gen. Drop back already exists on new gen. That's why people prefer old gen a bit more because it's more fun. In fact, I prefer it more because it's a bit more fun, but it works on both. But I would say whatever you do not put drop back on this. And I would say do not use press out possession loss. I would say the ways you can realistically go is balance, because I think it works the best. If you really struggle, but you want to apply a bit more pressure, you can use pressure on every touch, but I'd recommend balance for every single person, in my opinion. Even I use it myself. If I want to use that, I use team press aid. Now, the width's important. Now, don't forget, although, as I said to you, you are basically attacking in a 4-3-2-1, this is defensive shape. So the idea behind the narrow width is that when you're defending a 4-4-2, you're just a bit more compact, because the 4-4-2 is a wider formation anyway. But don't forget, when you lose the ball, there's a transition with the 4-3-2-1 to the 4-4-2. So the idea is that they're just a bit more compact when you're off the ball, when you lose the ball suddenly. And that's how the shape's going to be. Now, if you want to be a bit more aggressive and you want to use pressure on heavy touch, I recommend putting the width to about 50, maybe even 60. The depth, we put this to 65. I think it's a good proportionate balance. I think you're high up the pitch to win the ball back, but you're not so far forward that you end up getting caught in behind. Because don't forget, when you're defending a 4-4-2, people always forget this. But with this formation, there's no CDM. So we go over here to the 4-4-2. You can see there's no actual CDM. So your center mid's going to be playing like a CDM. Now, what you don't want to do is the space in between those two defensive lines. The space over here is what you don't want to commit. So the idea behind this is because you have no CDM, you're kind of making up for it kind of by not having the depth too high. But a lot of players, they don't know when to push the CDMs backwards. They have an issue just pushing them forward. So depth not too high. Now, build-up play. Now, I actually use long ball. I would recommend long ball. I know he doesn't use long ball, but I think with long ball, the way the players move is a bit more fluid. They go quicker, so when you get the ball, they move quicker forward. Basically, think of a long ball as getting behind. I always told you this. Long ball since FIFA 19 has always been like getting behind. And it's very important for the centre mids, especially the right centre mid, who then ends up making a run inside the middle. The getting behind is very important for him, and even the left centre mid. You can use it on balance, but I'd recommend long ball balance. Slow build-up play is just a bit too slow, because I think this formation is a kind of a quick formation, a counter-attack. It's not really a possession type system, although it can work in the final third. And fast build-up play, I just think it's too quick. I think because the players, don't forget, when you convert from a 4-4-2 defensively to a 4-3-2-1, if you lose the ball, you're going to be in big trouble. Your left center is going to be out of possession, so you're going to get screwed. Now, I would use balanced or long ball. I'd recommend long ball. For the chance creation, you can use 3. Now, if you prefer to play a bit slower, I would say use possessions. That means, don't forget, when you get up to the first 2/3, you're going to be using long ball. This is only for the final third, this chance creation. This one's for the first 2/3. Now, possession is, if you like, the slow system, but I'll still recommend balanced. I would say it's between forward runs and direct passing. Now, I personally like forward runs more because I think that everyone tries to go forward into good positions and they try to make runs going forward. The way direct passing is it kind of creates a gap between like your strikers. If you put them on get it by and they run forward, it drags the defenders away and you got space in behind for the cutback. Now, it doesn't always work as well for me personally. So you can use either one. I would recommend forward runs, but if you know how to use direct passing and you know exactly how to use them, then I'd recommend it. I don't really abuse the L1 through ball too much either. So I just, when I get outside the box, I still use L1 triggers inside the box. But the idea is I want players to be going forward, not sitting back. That's the reason why I use forward runs. And more players, or more than midfielders, make runs going forward, in my opinion. But direct passing is also the same thing. It just creates a better zone where you can get the ball to your striker and turn or do a skill move. But I still personally prefer forward runs. Again, it's completely up to you. The width, we put this to 43. Just because you don't want to be too wide. Don't forget, we're still attacking in the 4-3-2-1, so you don't want to be super wide, but you also don't want to be super narrow. We still got our strikers on stay central. I'll go over those in a second. And the players in the box, we have them on 7. Now, I'm going over to the instruction. I'm going to explain to you. This part is very, very important, okay? Now, everything in red that you're going to see, everything in red is how it's going to be in the defensive phase, okay? So in the defensive phase, so actually, you know what, I'll make it yellow because I think that's a bit easier. Yellow, Morales goes to left mid, or your left centre mid. Tecatito goes to right mid, and they go to CDM, and then those guys, they go forward. That is how you get the 4-4-2 system off the ball. When you're attacking, that's when things get mixed up. You have Llorente that goes forward. You have Tecatito that's going to be as a right mid going forward from a right mid to a right forward position, which creates him unmarked a lot of the times. And then you have Morales also getting forward as well. And you have the remaining strikers forward. Now, for the left back and right back, the reason why I didn't add them and implement into the gameplay, as I think Rodrigo did it, but it's better to just trigger them manually. Trust me on this. I'll have a video coming up on this. In my opinion, I disagree with him. I think for the average player, you're better off triggering these players manually. Because if you lose the ball, you don't want to be caught with 3 players in behind. And I know sometimes you could push an attacking winger to left back or whatever, or right back. You can do them on either side. Personally speaking, why would you want an attacker at left back, in my opinion? I'd always want my left mid being attacking role. I would never want Hakimi to be ahead of Neymar unless it's for passing. But I would never want Neymar, for example, to relegate down here and Hakimi to be in front. That's the reason why. You can always, and you'll see a video on this, you can always do the 1-2s and the butterfly wings between all these guys. Or let's just say diamonds, should I say, between these guys. You can always trigger them forward manually if you want to. That's what I would say. So let's go into the instructions. For both the strikers, okay, now you can use whatever you want, but just to keep this easier and easy for everyone to understand, you think of this like your 4-4, your 2 strikers and your 4-4-2. I have Martial and Neymar. So when we're defending, they're going to be on stay forward, okay, guys? Stay central, stay forward, and get it behind for both of them. Feel free to remove get it behind if you want to, but I would strongly urge you to keep stay forward and stay central on. Comeback and defense doesn't really do anything anyway because of the mismatch. So just lead them on. Stay central, stay forward. Feel free to change the attacking support. Now, this guy is going to end up becoming a right mid when you're defending, okay? A right mid when you're defending. So he's on stay central, get it behind, and come back and defense. So what you're saying to him is, I want you to come back and defense. And what I'll do basically is I'll in fact put a walkthrough up on my FIFA School. So this video is sponsored by my FIFA School Series. Patreon.com/NealGuides. Link is down below in the description. If you want to get better at FIFA, you can come join my FIFA School Series where we go through every single mechanic, all the basics, all the way to elite level. And we have a series, probably the most viewed series, is my Division 10 all the way to Elite Division series, only playing basic football. I show you every single game from Division 10 to Elite Division, just using basic football. No mechanic abusing, no through ball abusing, no skill moves, just basic football to show that anyone can do it. No matter what your skill level is, you're going to see the controller input and live annotation, see how that works. That's patreon.com/NealGuides. Look, if you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money. That is the NealGuides guarantee. Link is down below in the description. Learn the meta before the meta comes out. But anyway, back to the video. So, the left centre mid is on cover wing, which is the most important thing, because what that means is, if this person is coming back to right mid, then this person becomes a left mid. So you put him on cover wing. We left him on balance. Do not put him on stay back while attacking. He has to be on balanced. We put him on get into the box for a cross, also for the wing type positions. And then these two are your center mids in a 4-4-2. I have one of them, as I said, the CDM, the central player, on stay back while attacking, stay on the edge of the box, stay on the edge of the box for a cross, and cover center. He's like your Kante, okay? Then alongside him we have the attacking center mid, balanced, get into the box for cross, and cover wing. So both of cover center, should I say? Sorry. So both of these guys are on cover center, okay? So they're going to be the center mids. He's on cover wing. So he's going to be your left mid, and he's going to come back on the fence. So he's going to be your right mid. Does that make sense? So these two have to be on cover center, come back on the fence only, cover wing. And that is how you make it defend in a 4-4-2 system. I think I had something similar a couple of years ago, but I didn't really use it in the exact same way. So fair play to Rodrigo for that. And then we go over to the center backs, both of them on stay back while attacking now. Excuse me. Both the left back and right back, I would strongly urge you to not leave them unbalanced. I would recommend conservative overlap and trigger them forward yourself. If you really have no idea how to do that, put them unbalanced. But for 99% of you, I'm pretty sure most of you guys watch my tutorials, you know what the L1 trigger does. You're better off doing 1-2s with these players and creating overlaps like this, having like a 3 versus 2 overlaps yourself manually, as opposed to pushing your left back and right back forward all the time. In fact, I'd even recommend you to even use attacking D-pad tactics instead of these guys unbalanced. Because when these guys are unbalanced, they go full whenever you want. Now, you might be 1-0 up in a game. You don't want your left back to go forward because your opponent might go to a 4 striker stay forward, or a 4-1-2-1-2, 3 strikers on stay forward. You're going to get counter-attack. 3 versus 3, you're basically conceded 50% of the time from a counter-attack. So just leave them on stay back. If you want to push them forward, just literally trigger them forward or do a 1-2 with them. That's it. It's the most simplest solution to the problem. That way you push them forward when you want to, not when the game decides it. You have full control when you want them to push forward. And that is how you attack. So basically, don't forget, that's how you defend in a 4-4-2. And then you attack in a 4-3-2-1. And these guys end up joining the attack when you want them to. And it will help supplement your attack. Now, for the goalkeeper, I left it on balanced. Both centre backs, again, are both on balance. It's just a left back and right back conservative, just for stamina and positioning. Both of them on overlap and stay back. And the idea behind this, because they're going to be out of possession, you're going to press very, very quickly when you lose the ball high up the pitch in quite a wide system in a 4-3-2-1. Then you're transferred to the 4-4-2. You can still engage the press if you want to, or you can press manually yourself, and you'll sit back in a 4-4-2. Then when you win the ball back, your players are going to get the ball back very, very quickly and transfer from a 4-4-2. I can draw this as quick as I can. 4-4-2, they'll transfer in to a 4-3-2-1 very, very quickly. And then the final third would adhere to whatever custom tactics for use either for the chance creation. I use forward runs, but you can use direct passing as well. The width will be 43, so quite a balanced amount. Don't worry about that. And the players in the box will be perfect, because that means when you get inside the box, you have your striker, your 3 strikers there, your left mid and right mid there, the center mid on stay back while attacking, and then your back four. Then if you want to, you can always push these guys forward manually if you want to, and you have a lot of players inside the box for a cross. But anyway, that is the 4-3-2-1 tactics. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very, very much for watching. And don't forget my Patreon series, patreon.com/NealGuides. Link is down below in the description. And I said, if you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money. That is a NealGuides guarantee. Just this series alone is so popular that other people are copying this series that I'm doing. But just remember, head it from me first. Anyway, that's the Division 10 to Elite Division series. The full videos are there as well. And of course, all of last year's videos and all the other videos on the channel, the most intensive and most elaborate complete FIFA School Series. Anyway, patreon.com/NealGuides, link down below in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy. Of course, I'll catch you next time. Peace out.